Hey, what's going on, friends and family? My name is Skylent, and you probably want to know what I think about E3. Well, overall, I'm just going to say E3 is probably not the hype factory that it used to be. It used to be just so much bigger and better, but now this sort of ecosystem of releasing, or revealing details on your new video games, you generally kind of do that at your own special events. BlizzCon, QuakeCon, stuff like that. CraftCon, Minecon, whatever, Minecon, that's what it is. All these different cons, man, for very specific games sometimes, or specific brands or types of games, like Evo, stuff like that. Sometimes you'll get some cool reveals for new DLCs and sometimes new games, right? I don't know. Anyways, you have all these different events for all these different reveals, and E3 is kind of, I think, suffered a little bit from that. With the new atmosphere of streaming and YouTube, and just everything is being revealed constantly, consistently. Things are just a little bit different, but still, E3 is a cool place to go and play games. Check them out, especially since they open it up to the public. Well, more so now, you don't have to pretend to be press or whatever. You get in there and you have fun and you get to listen to these lectures. Some people like that. Some people get off on that, okay? I'm a nerd. And you get to actually have some fun playing the games and checking out these new games that are on the horizon. Still, though, I feel like this E3 didn't reveal too much, but I'm going to do a top 10 here where we're going to be talking about the reveals that actually had trailers. So these are going to be the trailers. These are going to be the reveals. But overall, there were some reveals that were just either talked to in passing, just like, hey, Metroid Prime 4, look at it, dude. Look at the JPEG. Basically, they just showed a logo, like, what the fuck? But then there were actual reveals of trailers, and we get to see either gameplay or it kind of, sets up the story with a cinematic, and you learn about the game and you know how it's going to be played. Yeah. Okay, so that's what we're going to be talking about. This is my pick for top 10 reveals at E3. Now, I'm just going to go through this, okay? No particular order, right? Number one's not going to be the most hype. This is just games that I think are probably going to be pretty freaking cool, and I want to play them, definitely. I think they were very interesting, and I think most of you guys will probably agree that these were the ones that stood out. Probably because there really wasn't that many announcements. Honestly, this is probably like 10 out of, 11 or 12 that were actually announced here at E3. But yeah, anyways, let's get into it. Right? So the first game I'm going to talk about is called A Way Out. This is pretty interesting because it is a forced split-screen game. It's pretty rare that you have a forced co-op game, but this is going to be a forced co-op split-screen game. Even if you're playing online, what have you, you're going to be playing split screen, and you will be seeing the other person's screen, and that's how the story and the game mechanics all entwine together. A Way Out is about two inmates. They meet. Apparently, they have a grudge against some bastard. They want to get out of prison and dish out that revenge. Now, this is going to be a story/puzzle game, so looking up, more about the game might spoil some puzzles, might spoil some story, might spoil the gameplay. So this is one of those games that you're just going to have to ride with the gimmick, see the trailer, and if it looks high quality to you, if you think it's a cool gimmick, well, let's ride with it and let's hope for the best. But yeah, A Way Out seems pretty cool. I think one character is a little bit more aggressive, will more often take the sort of fighting routes, and one person is more talky-talky. You might be able to switch out, the different personalities sometimes and do different things, because you're put in scenarios and you're supposed to kind of puzzle and there's probably multiple solutions, and you have to figure out how you want to do it with which character and who does what, dealing out the tasks there. And that's just kind of a cool concept. Of course, as long as there are multiple solutions and multiple ways to play the game. Otherwise, it's a one and done, hey, that was a cool movie kind of game, and nothing wrong with that, but I'm kind of hoping for a little bit more with something as interesting as this. Next game I want to talk about is Anthem. Not going to spend too much time on it, even though it has the longest gameplay trailer. Thought it was a little bit cringy. I hate when they do the whole voice acted, trailers oh, I'm a gamer. Oh, look, sweet loot. I don't like that shit. But the game did look graphically very amazing. I think it's kind of dubious if a game is actually going to release looking like that. Maybe, but at the same time, this is supposed to be kind of a showpiece for the new console. It's supposed to push out these kind of graphics. Xbox One X. It's pretty hype. This looks like Destiny, maybe mixed with I don't like Destiny. It looks very similar to Destiny, except maybe a little bit more open. Hopefully a lot more open. I think that's really what's going to separate it. And if it's a little bit more gritty, you have more monsters, more big boss fights that can just kind of jump out in front of you, then I think it's going to be a lot more exciting, because Destiny is more hordish. You get hordes and hordes of enemies, you get to the end of the map, and then there's a boss which also has tons of ads. Very action RPG/MMO-esque. This hopefully will have a kind of a different flow, and it kind of has a different flavor to it, but overall it's still, yeah, I agree with you guys, it definitely looks very Destiny-ish. So it might pull from that community, it might add on to that community, people who play Destiny are like, oh dude, I'm gonna get Anthem. Maybe so. I don't know. It looked kind of cool. It looked kind of cool. If it gets great reviews, it might be a game to get Xbox for. All right, guys, let's talk about Ashen. This, you know, if this was actually, like, if it showed up, like, as a From Software game, I would have believed it. Now, graphically, it doesn't seem like a From Software game. It has this, it actually looks kind of similar to Absolver. I'm seeing a lot more games having this sort of, I don't know how to describe this, almost like the characters are made out of clay or something. Anyways, so this art style is pretty cool, and it kind of makes it look a little bit softer. But this is still very much a Souls game, like in every, okay, I haven't actually seen like proper gameplay, obviously, it's just a reveal, but this looks like a Souls game. Even the announcer, the voiceover, like setting up the world setting is basically Dark Souls. Like, holy shit, dude, it's a Souls game, like in every way except for art style. And if I had to kind of like theory craft about what the gameplay would actually be like, it looks to be a much more social and co-op focused Souls game, which we're actually not used to seeing. All the Souls-likes that I've ever played and have seen are basically single player, or they literally are just single player. There is no multiplayer. So Dark Souls is a lonely experience, and the PvP and everything kind of adds to that experience, that traveler, you know, wandering kind of aesthetic, which is, it's really cool. It's a really interesting feeling and emotion that you get. But this game seems to be more focused on the co-op. So I don't know if it's going to do PvP. If you want your PvP fix, you might want to go play Absolver. But if you want Dark Souls, but, you know, actually from start to finish to be more co-op, you might want to do that. Also, Ashen kind of seems like it might be a little bit more fragile gameplay. So I don't think you're just going to be able to tank and spank everything. You might need co-op, which could be cool. Okay, next up we have Monster Hunter World. Overall, the gameplay didn't really excite me too much. It was kind of big and bombastic, you know, dinosaurs, and you got the vine grappling hook thing and swinging all the way. I don't know, there's a lot of really crazy stuff. Monster Hunter generally wasn't too hardcore of a game. I think it is a little bit more silly. I mean, it's Monster Hunter. You're running around with like freaking hammer cannons and like swords made out of the jaws of T-Rexes and shit. You know, it's a little bit ridiculous and very fantastic, but I wonder if how people are gonna feel about this, how cartoon and casual it seemingly looks. But overall, you know, from what I've heard from like Pro Jared actually went and did hands-on and played it. He said it's pretty freaking good. I think it might do some things differently, but either way, you know, we have Monster Hunter World, which is probably gonna be not bad. Also coming to PC, guys. And then we have Dauntless, which is gonna be a free-to-play Monster Hunter. So we got two to pick from, but Monster Hunter Worlds, I think it's gonna be okay, and I think I'm gonna pick it up. I think I'm gonna have some fun. So yeah, look forward to that on my channel. Next up, we have a small game called Wargroove. I think this is gonna be a little kind of niche game that's probably gonna have a big following later on, you know, through the years. Wargroove is gonna be a strategy game where you can actually make your own campaigns, like entire campaigns. So this is actually based off of a series that I never played, and I can't even remember the name. Somebody's gonna say in the comments below. Anyways, it's a strategy slash tactics game. You run through different campaigns, you build your units. Well, you don't like build specific units, but you know, you build up your army. It's kind of RPG-ish, slightly. I don't know, it seems just really cute. I've never played a game like this. Now I know it does emulate a 3DS game. What is it called? Advanced Wars? Anyways, I don't know. I just love the pixel art. I love the design. I am hungry for a strategy game like this, a strategy slash tactic game. Wargroove seems pretty cool. Now, I believe it's coming for the Switch and PC, so I might pick it up for my Switch. I think this just looks like a Switch game. It looks pretty fantastic. Anyways, probably gonna be, you know, a little bit lesser of a following, but, you know, I'll be part of that following. Now, another probably little known game here is gonna be Tunic. I don't think this is gonna be, you know, causing too many waves. But basically, this looks like a children's isometric Dark Souls game. It actually, like, whenever I look at the combat, it looks proper Souls-like. You know, of course, isometric, which there's, what, Eater coming out? So that's really the only one I can think of. That's isometric. I played a top-down one called Dead Mouse. Is it Dead Mouse? Dark Mouse? It's Dark Mouse. Anyways, so this actually looks really cool. Now, the graphics look really simple, but the lighting is freaking orgasmic. So yeah, Tunic, isometric, Dark Souls for kids, maybe, or maybe that's just the aesthetic, but yeah. Moving on, guys. This game is called Deep Rock Galactic. Okay, just want to make sure I didn't mess that up. It's just Deep Rock Galactic. Deep Rock Galactic. Anyways, so this concept is actually really freaking cool. It's basically think something like Alien Swarm. If you ever play that, it's a free-to-play on Steam. You should probably pick it up with some friends. Play it over the weekend. Just got a new expansion. Anyway, so Deep Rock Galactic is basically Alien Swarm in first person, but also Minecraft. So you're actually going into the Earth or, you know, some whatever. You know, you're going underground in a moon, on an asteroid, some bullshit. I don't know. And you're just kind of mining and I guess you're trying to get a resource, but then you get swarmed by aliens. So horde survival, but you're moving and trying to complete an objective or something like that. I don't know. It looks really, really cute. In fact, I don't know why, but like if I saw this game on launch for Xbox One, I probably would have got an Xbox for this concept. I love cooperative games so much. So much, man. Okay, moving on, we have the Darwin Project, which is probably the opposite of cooperative here. This is a battle royale game. I don't know if we are gonna have like ones, you know, duos, teams. I'm assuming, but the Darwin Project looks to be like a postmodern sci-fi kind of. I mean, it kind of reminds me of The Culling if it was cartoon-like. Battle royale game. So yeah, I think it's. I think everyone in the game is a prisoner of some kind, and they're just trying to survive. But it's a game show. It's definitely a game show. Yeah, so there's a game show. It's kind of like The Culling. It's more cartoon though. So not wholly original, but at the same time, I feel like a lot of the mechanics that I'm seeing on screen kind of, to me, scream like originality. So maybe this could be refreshing for the Battle Royale genre. I think The Culling kind of flopped. I want to say completely failed. I think it was cool when it launched, but, oh, I mean, it never fully launched. Anyways, Darwin Project seems pretty interesting. Next, we have Black the Fall. Sorry, Black the Fall. That sounds like a fucking awesome, like, band name or something. This is going to be a Limbo-like game. Now, I've played Limbo. I own Inside, which I need to complete, actually. And I've had Monochroma. Have you guys ever played that? I've played a few of these Limbo-like games that are very, you know, obviously inspired by Limbo. And I really like the genre, which is why I should totally finish Inside. But here's another one, Black the Fall. I think it's supposed to be like alternate history, future thing. Not really, you know, with these games, it's really hard to tell like what the story's gonna be like, but I'm sure we can assume that most of the puzzles are gonna be, you know, right up the alley of Limbo-esque. I think maybe because of the technology, we're gonna see some interesting puzzles, but I don't know if it's gonna be as unique as what I've seen with Monochroma. I think Monochroma already had a lot of technology and stuff, inventiveness with that. So I played that. I think Black the Fall is probably gonna be more similar to Monochroma than actual Limbo. So yeah, if you guys haven't seen Monochroma, you should get that game. It's probably on sale, probably soon for Steam Summer Sale. But yeah, Black the Fall, July 11th. And lastly, let's talk about Metroid Samus Returns. This looks pretty cool, aside from being on 3DS, but, you know, I don't know. It would have been awesome on Switch, but then they got Metroid Prime 4, which, you know, they just showed the JPEG, so no even gameplay of that. Anyways, so this looks like, you know, it looks pretty good. I kind of like the design of Samus, coming back to kind of like the roots of the design. I mean, it's 3DS graphics, right? So kind of garbage, but all in all, from what I've seen with the gameplay, I don't know if it's gonna be quite as horror as I would like or imagine. I feel like, you know, Super Metroid was pretty horrific, and to an extent, you know, the Prime series also had a great deal of horror to it. This one seems to be maybe a little bit more action-based. If you guys actually look, there's melee attacks and kind of seems like combos and things like that, and maybe that could be fun in its own right. I think Metroid can branch out a little bit, you know, into genres like that, but Metroid, you know, always had this, like, bite of horror to it. So I think some would say straight up it is a horror franchise, but you know, we'll see how this game turns out. It looks like a proper Metroid game. I mean, definitely better than some of the shit we got lately, or recently, or somewhat recently. I don't know, they barely come out with Metroid games most of the time. They're just spin-offs. So hey, I'm glad that this is coming out. I might get a 3DS just for this game. Anyways, guys, that's it for the top 10 here of the games that were revealed at E3. Let me know what you guys think. I know a lot of these are niche games, but you have to realize that's kind of my thing. And also, it's E3, well, you know, the E3 in the incarnation that it is now, we don't really get to, you know, see new reveals of new games all the time. So probably the ones that do get revealed, most of the time, are probably going to be kind of weird niche games that are kind of exciting to see and speculate about. But yeah, most of the big games you already know are coming anyways. So there's that. I think a lot of people were looking forward to trailers for, or, you know, a reveal of like The Last of Us 2 or, you know, Elder Scrolls 6, you know, things like that. I don't know. That didn't happen. Tragic. This E3 wasn't the greatest, but hey, I think we're going to get some really cute games that might be a lot better than a lot of people are expecting and thinking. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me for this E3. Hopefully you're going to see some gameplay of all of these games, if not more. Yeah, maybe a lot for some of these games. You know, I think I want to play a lot of Monster Hunter. So anyways, stay tuned for that. Like and subscribe and all that good stuff, and keep the hype alive. That's all I can ask. Hope you guys had fun. My name's Skylent, and I'll see you in the next one.